keep your focus right here where this red is, right in this area here. Let me get it. There it is. Kind of hard to do this when you're looking at a screen, okay? Now, I'm gonna share something. I'm going to share something real interesting with you about the jet stream that comes from here. And I'm going to tell you why I put that arrow there for two reasons. So stay with us to the end, or you're not going to hear this amazing story that I found out about why this area here is one of the safest places to live in the event of a nuclear attack. If the nuclear attack is this way, yeah, I'm doing this right. If it's from here to here. And someone told me, they said, please don't do that. There's enough people moving into the area without you having to say that. And so that's part of it. But let me get to the first part. There's a really weird condition in our nation. The recession, the high cost of living. Older people seem to be living from paycheck to paycheck. A lot of them, when they're sick, sometimes they have to choose between special medicine or where they can have food that month. And I know that for a fact, especially up in Kentucky and West Virginia. They're not sure how they can pay some of their bills. The middle class cannot afford the mortgage payment, the apartment rent, the fuel, the food. I mean, we went here from an apartment costing $850 a month to $1,400 a month, right in Cleveland, Tennessee. Nobody could believe it, but it's because everybody was moving here and, they weren't looking for houses. They were looking for rental property. They're now building 5,000 or 10,000 homes in this area. It's just amazing. The youth, this is the big part that concerns me. They're in total confusion, gender confusion, living in depression, on drugs, dying of fentanyl, drinking when they're 11, 12, 13 years of age, having sex in school when they're 13, 14, 15, some are 11, getting involved with pornography. It is a mess. Look, see this is called the United States right here behind me in this map. It is in a mess. And our problems are spiritual problems. But listen to me before I talk about the jet stream. Listen to me. Throughout history, when God was ready to revive a nation, he always tapped into the young people. All of the disciples, John was a teenager when Jesus chose him, but all the disciples that Jesus chose would have been young fishermen in their 20s to about 30 years of age. And we know that because of how old they were when they died. So think about this. Most of the 12 disciples, one was a teenager, the others were 20s up to their 30s. In the 1948 revival, there were 25 men. I did a list of this years ago that in 1948 started that great revival in tents and auditoriums, and most of them were in their 20s. One man, Oral Roberts, was 30. Everybody else was 30 and under except for Oral Roberts and one other man. We're talking about 25 men. That's a young person. All the evangelists of the revivals that I saw in the 80s, and I could talk about Marcus Lamb, I could talk about Jensen Franklin, I could talk about myself, David St. John, and others. We were all young men when we were called to preach. And we started having these big youth revivals in churches. There is a game changer coming. And I want you to hear me before I get into this jet stream. I know, and please don't fast forward this to get to the jet stream story, because I want you to hear what I'm about to say. So listen to all this. It's not lengthy, but listen to it. The game changer is Joel 2, where sons and daughters are going to encounter the power of the Holy Spirit in the last days. We're starting to see it. We're starting to tap into it. But right here is one reason why that red dot's important. That red arrow is pointing on Bradley County in Cleveland, Tennessee. And we have a Warrior Fest youth event every year. And sometimes we're going to add another one and another one as time passes, in which we want your young people to get here. When you see Warrior Fest advertised, I want you to plan on the end of March coming. Me, Jensen Franklin, Nick Walker, my daughter, Eddie James, Seven Hills Worship, the Awaken team. Just remember what I'm telling you. And if you have a youth group, start looking for this registration about January of 2025. Now, the story I want to tell you. I have to leave this man's name out because he's retired from a very important position in the government. He said to me one day, he said, let me tell you something interesting about Cleveland, Tennessee. And he began to explain to me, without telling me where it was, because he can't do that, how there were underground places in the mountains here for certain military type things in the event of a nuclear attack. And I said, well, why did they choose that area, which is the area where I live, this vicinity, the mountain area? Why did they choose that? Was it the mountains? He said, well, it's a little bit deeper than that. He said, for example, we studied for years the jet stream. If a nuclear bomb were to hit from Memphis, Illinois, anywhere, and go all the way over here to this side of the country, and your jet stream, if you know anything about the jet stream, because we fly in a plane, that if you're flying from here to here, and you're flying against the jet stream, and it slows you down. If you're flying from here back home, you're in the jet stream and you get home faster. And I want to make that clear. So the wind comes from west to east. And if you ever watch the news, if they talk about candidates dipping down, well, it's dipping down here, and that's why. They discovered that in Chattanooga, Tennessee, the way the mountain ranges are, that if a nuclear attack were to happen from this area this way, it splits in Chattanooga, meaning, this is hard to do on this map, that the wind goes north or it goes south. It goes into the Dalton area or it goes into the Dayton area. And the area of Cleveland, this hub right here, this little valley that we're in, that it would actually miss a lot of the nuclear, and how do I know that's true? Well, I thought to myself, that can't even be possible. And then every time, my wife will confirm this, that there's a storm coming of snow. When it gets to Chattanooga, it can snow all over Chattanooga and it misses Cleveland. It goes north or it goes south. And it's because of the mountains. There's something about how the mountains are made that it splits around the mountains. And so that's the reason why, and I'm not going to say any more about that, where this is, but there are some things up in this area of Tennessee, edge of the Smoky Mountains, that's all I'm going to say, that are built for the protection of people that would be brought there in the event of that. Now, up there in West Virginia, there's a place called the Greenbrier, and the Greenbrier was the hub for where the Congress and the Senate would go in the event of a nuclear attack in D.C., and it's a resort hotel now, but the bunker is still there. It's a pretty amazing place. So what I want to share with you, this event's a game changer. You say, what's that about? Warrior Fest is a game changer for your young people. And the fact that this area has a very strange jet stream in the event of certain attacks, that's a game changer as well. I hope you enjoyed this. Now, please don't everybody get the idea to move to Bradley County in Cleveland, Tennessee. We didn't build roads big enough for everybody moving here. But I want to say about my county and about our people that are here, there's 380 churches, we've been told, in the whole area through here, the county, surrounding areas, 380 churches. So it's like the Bible Belt of the East Coast, I guess you could say. But I'm glad that we're a part of this area. And join us on Tuesday night services at Omega Center International with Dr. Brian Cutshaw, World Prayer on Thursday, and keep watching because we always have something to keep up with at the end. Hey, if that was interesting, hit that like button. Think that's interesting? But don't forget, Warrior Fest coming up in the spring. We'll let you know more about that later. God bless you. I want to present to you the most anticipated ministry gathering all year long, the Awaken America Summit, featuring myself, Mario Morello, Lance Walnout, Joseph C., and Jensen Franklin. In my first message, you will discover the American Babylonian Antichrist cipher and how this ancient spirit is wreaking havoc on American politics and culture. In my second message, learn how angels and demons battle every 4 years for the destiny and soul of America before our election cycles. You must see the Hebraic letters, symbols, and numbers in the powerful message that exposes the prophetic mystery of the near assassination of President Trump in Butler, Pennsylvania, along with other amazing prophetic parallels. My fourth message was Heaven, Departed Loved Ones, and Death Mysteries, revealing new information and explaining how many mysteries seldom taught by pastors, including new information on what happens 2 or 4 minutes after the death of a person occurs. This is a very unique message. Now, I want you to experience the same excitement of the attendees when hearing and seeing Joseph Zeig explain the last days apocalyptic foresight that he gave us in his revelation. Just a powerful message. This was followed by Mario Morello's explosive manifesto called It's Our Time Now. Jensen Franklin electrified the Assembly of the Saints when explaining how you must create your own worship to survive Satan's attacks. Lance Wallnau then followed up with his famous whiteboard and taught on the anointing required to defeat the systems of this world. These unedited, now remember, they're unedited. You get them as they were preached. These 8 messages provide over 8 hours of exposés with powerful prophetic insight and practical teaching that will inspire, enlighten, and prepare, and also strengthen you for these last days. The CDs are the audio messages. The DVDs have the message and the pictures, the charts, and also important visual insights. These 8 messages are also available on audio flash drive for your car and also for your home computers. To order your 8 CD set, request offer 24 ME CD for a donation of $55 or more. To receive the 8 DVDs, use offer number 24 ME DVD for a donation of $95 or more. You can select the USB flash drive with the 8 messages by requesting offer number 24 ME USB for a donation of $55 or more. Call 1-888-21-BREAD or go online at perrystone.org. But you can also send a check to Perry Stone Ministries, P.O. Box 3595, Cleveland, Tennessee 37320, and request the CDs, DVDs, or USB drive. We are looking forward to hearing from you.
If you enjoyed this YouTube content, there's an important website you should know about: perrystone.org. Perrystone.org is an essential resource for the latest books, audiovisual presentations, and digital products from Perry Stone Ministries. Resources that cover the same kinds of topics discussed in the program you just watched. Stop in and see all that's available at perrystone.org.